What's going on, guys? It's Nate here, and boy do we have an interesting one for you today. This week has not been an easy one for you if you're Bethesda's Vice President of Public Relations and Marketing, Pete Hines, who, as you can imagine, has been through a lot. First, we had the overwhelmingly negative community reception of the Creation Club, which led many angry fans to let their frustrations out on his Twitter. Much of that we actually covered a few days ago. However, just yesterday at PAX West, during an interview with Tech Syndicate, Pete Hines seems to have accidentally announced a new Bethesda game coming before the end of 2017 that we previously knew nothing of. When asked about their current work, Hines said, quote, "We have a ton of stuff going on, and we even have a game coming out this year that we haven't told anybody about yet. They can wait, it won't be so long." When pressed about this by the interviewer, as one would obviously do, and asked if it was a new IP or what platforms this would be on, he simply replied with, quote, "I am not telling you." A very strange response. The interview then went on to discuss more about what Bethesda's currently working on in their current projects. If you'd like to see the full conversation, I'll have it linked in the description down below. Now, this is some very blatant wording. It's not really open to interpretation. Bethesda says they have a new game coming this year that they've told nobody about yet. A very clear statement. However, following the interview and after it began to make its rounds on the internet, Pete Hines went back on his statement on Twitter, replying to a tweet Mr. Mattyplays actually made on the subject, saying, quote, "I probably just had a concussion from the beating I took online and was rambling. Ignore." The beating being a reference to the current Creation Club backlash that we're still seeing. But this is very strange. He's essentially rescinding upon everything he said. Bethesda's own VP of Public Relations announces a new game in a very modest way and then saying, "Wait, never mind, we don't actually have anything. I don't know what I'm talking about." Traditionally, whenever Bethesda deals with rumors or alleged inside leaks, they and Pete simply refuse to comment. They don't confirm or deny anything. However, in this instance, I can see why they would have quickly gone back on it, as this wasn't really a rumor, but their own employee saying something on record. So now the question is, what do we believe? Did Pete Hines seriously just have a bit of a foggy memory and say some incoherent things? Or did he know what he was saying was true, but then later realized, oh my gosh, we were supposed to have a big reveal for this. I've got to go back on what I said. Personally, I'm inclined to believe the first option here. The reason is that we're already in September. If Bethesda were to announce a game today, they would have a little more than just 3 months to get it out before New Year's and market it effectively. That would be a huge undertaking, even for Bethesda Game Studios, which likes to announce their titles at the absolute last second. If Bethesda does have anything planned, it would more than likely have to be something very small, like another mobile game or perhaps a card game. But I personally feel as though it's just way too late to announce a AAA title if they intend for it to be out by the end of the year. Furthermore, do keep in mind, Bethesda Softworks is a publisher with multiple subsidiary developers. So even if by some divine miracle they do intend to squeeze out another title so quickly, that still doesn't guarantee it would be developed by Bethesda Game Studios, the makers of Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, only that it would be published by Bethesda Softworks. It could be something developed by id or Arcane or any of the number of developers Bethesda Softworks has under their belt. Again, Bethesda Softworks is just the publisher that Pete Hines represents. Bethesda Game Studios, which Todd Howard is essentially the head honcho of, is just one of the development studios that's owned by them. We'll definitely have to wait and see what happens. Maybe Bethesda does really have one more ace up their sleeve before New Year's, or maybe Pete Hines is just beginning to feel the effects of old age, I guess. What do you think about this? Do you feel like Pete Hines just slipped a huge secret, or is it way too late for that? I will say it's an odd coincidence that just a week ago we saw the Game of Thrones leaks, but I'm still skeptical. No matter, on that note, we are going to wrap up. I do hope you all enjoyed the video. If so, like ratings are always very much appreciated, and I really hope to see you all in my next one. Peace out, everybody.